In the Adelaide art scene, the Adelaide Cabaret Festival just seems to be growing exponentially every year. This year, which is David Campbell's third and final year as artistic director before he hands over to Kate Sobrano, will see 50 international artists gracing our stage. And as they say, it is promising to be literally bigger and better than ever. 47 shows across 16 nights. The 11th festival program is delightfully diverse, with everything from high school students to headline act Olivia Newton-John. Song, dance, comedy, the brightest and best stars from across the country and around the world. And it won't be long before they all converge on Adelaide. And on a local note, Adelaide artist Ansuya returns home for the Australian premiere of her solo show, Long Live the King. Ansuya, welcome home and welcome back to Adelaide. It's lovely to have you here.
Thank you very much.
Now, explain to me, a girl, an Indian girl living in Elizabeth who's ended up playing Elvis Presley. That's a hell of a long link. How did that happen?
It is a big leap. It's basically, my parents arrived around about the time Elvis Presley died. They migrated to Adelaide, and it was one of those weird sort of coincidences where I was actually born 2 months to the day after the great man died. Elvis becomes this sort of metaphor for not being able to connect with the world and dislocation and the grief you kind of feel when you leave a family behind and start a new home, essentially.
So is it a funny show?
It is. Yes, it is.
And
actually very,
clearly
very funny.
You must sing a lot of Elvis.
I do sing quite a bit of Elvis. I sing as Elvis as well. I get into the white jumpsuit and give it a bit of my own sort of impersonation of the man.
Can you sing me some Elvis?
Oh, well, I can talk a bit like this. This is how he does it. Thank you very much.
So, tell me about the show. When did you first launch it and where?
I performed the show first in Edinburgh this last year, which was quite a terrifying experience. It's one of the biggest arts festivals in the world, if not the biggest, yes. But decided that that was the safest place to do it.
And why was that? I mean, most people would be terrified of the thought of performing in Edinburgh.
Because this story is so personal. It is essentially a reimagining of the way I came into the world and about my parents, that to debut the show here was far too terrifying.
I bet it was. No, but Mum and Dad have since seen it.
They have.
And they laughed?
They laughed a lot. Within the first few lines, I could hear my dad giggling up in the back, so that was quite a relief.
What do you love coming back to?
Oh, well, family. All of my family is here. Mum, Dad, brothers. It's just so calming. So we've all got a lovely pace to it, and you have everything you could possibly still want in terms of experiences and culture and restaurants and things to do.
So when you're here and when you're not performing your own show, which I'm sure will be a complete sellout and success, what other shows do you have your eye on?
Paul Capsis, an extraordinary performer. I remember seeing him for the first time in Edinburgh in 2003, and he just moved me to tears. A friend of mine is doing a show, Mike McLeish. He played Keating in Keating the musical. Just how he dealt with what happened next after that.
So you have the Elvis show, which is happening, and it's fabulous. How does Adelaide rate on a world stage when it comes to cabaret?
Oh, it's an amazing festival. It really is considered right up there with the best, if not the best, I'd think. So many performers vie to get into this festival. It's really seen as a wonderful thing to put on the CV.
What next?
I'm working on a few different projects. I'm actually working on adapting this story for screen, which I think would be a wonderful South Australian story to tell. I'm working on a novel and all kinds of things. I'm not very good at doing one thing.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'll tell you what, best of luck with the show. I'm sure you don't need it, and it's been lovely to chat with you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.